Um, which is Suyi's nice way of saying, "Can we start class now?" And Suyi, for that nice way of saying it, you get a game. So send me privately an email that you would like a game to go to. Let's see, what was in the September 2019 Humble Monthly? Oh, I've already given a couple from that one. Okay, let's try a different one. Let's go back even further. Let's go to let's go to July 2017. What's in July 2017? Nothing. I used everything.
Uh-oh. Well, this is a really good way to lighten up your list of...
Yep. Oh, I got one from March of 2017. Let me check the chat. Okay. Okay. Copying, copy. And you are getting, again, I have no, you are getting a copy of Ernog Earn Limited. I don't know what game that is. I picked more or less at random. Last class, I gave out Sonic Mania, and everybody was like, "Oh my God, that's the best game!" And I was like, "Well, I don't know, whatever." I didn't want it. Okay, so everyone, you are welcome. They were very excited, and the person I gave it to already owned it, but for their Switch, so now they have it for PC too. Okay, so all this, I watched musical theater all weekend. So our last quiz is this week. And our last Write Club is tomorrow. So I'm sure you're very excited. We will be done with quizzes and Write Club this week. This will be the last ones. I didn't get the quiz up, so I was too busy sobbing over various songs. Last night watched Stephen Sondheim's 90th birthday party, where star after star just sang in their Zoom room a Sondheim song, and just, it's on YouTube. Go watch it. Look for Sondheim Celebration. It'll change your life. You should all be so lucky to be able to watch all these stars singing Sondheim for free. So that said, I saw the poll. Let me get the poll up. The ARG story poll. Looks like, who put it up? Mike. Mike, can you unmute yourself and tell us what happened with the poll?
Does this mic work?
Yes, I hear you fine.
I'll pull it up right now. So it looks like the Cyber Fantasy won by like a good amount.
Okay. So Cyber Fantasy wins. Although I saw this and I was like, okay. We've got a theme, we've got a tone, but we don't have really specifics, right? We don't have what's the problem? How do we, who needs help? What's the whole thing about, right? I assume the writers are going to get right on that and tell us
Yeah,
all.
I'd hope they're gonna get started on that. Yeah.
Okay.
We are we have a bunch of ideas, a lot of like general amalgamized stuff. It'll just take one meeting for us to get that sorted out.
Okay. So can you guys put up something either somewhere and link it in the Discord so that we can all be privy to what the story is?
It's all on the idea doc currently.
It's
All the stuff
on
we're
the
going from.
idea doc. Okay, idea. I'm looking.
It's pinned in general chat.
Okay, yeah, I got it.
Alright, cool.
So I got a lot of fairies gathering items to summon a god, horror escape room, distant lovers, fairies are real, fairy hunters. Is this the right doc?
Yeah, that's the right one. I'll go in and narrow down to the ones that we had everybody select from so that it's a little more streamlined, but it's all
Okay.
good.
Yeah. So here's what we're looking for. Big picture is who needs help, right? Because somebody always needs help. Asks the internet for help. To do what? And what they think they're asking for help for might not be the ultimate thing, right? So going back to I need help finding my cat turns into changing to the lightest timeline from the darkest timeline. So some kind of idea of how this all ends up and how this all begins is basically what we're looking for. And the details can be filled in later, right? Does that make sense? Thumbs up, thumbs down, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay. Okay, so I want to show you, let's see, let's show you a different, that's Mexican oregano, that's different. Okay, so here we go. Let's share this. Share. So this is I Love Bees, came out in 2004. Oh, wait. I got to stop that share because you're going to need some sound. Share screen, share sound. Okay. So this is actually how the website ended up looking when the game was over. But originally, we had ilovebees.com, and you notice it's different now because that original site went away. But it's, let's see, can you see? Yeah. Okay, so this is Margaret's Honey in Napa Valley, California. And we've got, hello, I'm Margaret. This is her cat, Farnsworth. And you can see it said, hi, I'm Margaret, and thank you for visiting my website. I am a retired substitute school teacher, 17 years in the Vacaville school system. And you can kind of see that in there. And this is her and her sister Chloe and her niece Dana, and pictures of Dana down here. And this is basically, she's a retired substitute school teacher who has taken up keeping bees. And this is her website. Now, remember, this is from 2004, so this is what websites looked like in 2004. Even then, this was kind of like amateur website, like decent amateur website, but, you know, this wasn't Amazon, although Amazon was very different back then. But you can see this is also kind of really weird and screwed up transmission analysis. Inbound voices are being monitored by person or persons with an incomplete understanding of the truth, leveraging some connection points to keep certain transmissions hidden from the monitors. That's weird. Mission parameters: I must seek out, behold, and reveal the truth. So there's all sorts of weird stuff here. We get lives. Bees. So we get weird stuff here. And if you go down here, this is the original, what the original website looked like or said. I have 3 hives. My first hive was a startup kit with a brood box, blah, 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 blah. Right? And we can go to honey. You can order honey from her. But hi, ignore the pious flea. Play with me instead. Making a mistake is a good way to start. How do you make a mistake?
Is that you beeping or is that me beeping?
The beeping is me. I'm sharing my sound so that you could hear the bee stuff, but the other class is very active in Discord right now. So we've got some weird stuff here. And let's see, how do we get out of this? Behold the truth. Can I click on something to get out of here? Nope. I gotta back up. And then we can go to fun stuff. And this is originally it was fun facts about bees. But what we have is a lot of this, right? And we can, there's page after page of this. Oh, let me open up chat. It does look like a horror website where randomly stuff randomly pops up. This, you notice some of them say, see all these data archived, axon canceled, axon success, axon success, axon canceled. Each and every one of these in the game itself turned out to be a payphone somewhere. There were hundreds of payphones. See, all of those payphones. And various things, puzzles, activities pointed to dates and times and locations. And the locations always ended up being a payphone somewhere. And at a certain date and time, the phone would ring. And if somebody answered it, then it would be you'd get an axon success. If somebody didn't answer it, you'd get axon canceled. And each one you needed however many, like this one, you needed 4 of them succeeded to get this. And when you did, when you got 4 of them.
Jim? This the girl?
Hey, Gilly. You all right?
She's pretty. Come into the kitchen.
Oh, quite a stockpile.
I picked up a hand cannon from a guy who needed some quick cash. Put the vet bennies to work.
Come on, Gilly.
I got the gauge and I thought, okay, that's good in tight, but it won't give me squat at range, and so I went looking for an SRS.
Gilly.
And it didn't make sense not to have a good all-purpose.
You don't need any.
I still feel better when I've got a pop gun around.
The grenades?
The girl's got to accessorize, Jim.
Men never understand.
You'd get this little piece of what was essentially a radio drama. Once they got them all, it turned out to be 4 different stories that comprised 12 hours of radio drama. Each of which, and basically when you answered that payphone, that would be what you heard. Although sometimes there would be an actual live person on the other side. Let me see. Green goddess facial. Ooh, just listening.
So, we need a specific one or just any telecom shack?
Well, anyone ought to work.
Now, that's still. Sometimes they'd be people. Transmit truth, 1104 seeker. Anyway, so this was the game. There were 777 different axons that had to be authorized. And the thing was, that's how it ended. That's not how it started. If we go back to home, you see what happened to this site. No idea. Help me out here. And if you go here, click on here, you get a blog on Blogspot, on Blogger, right? And this is the way blogs work. This is the last entry in the blog. So let's go back to the first entry in the blog. On July 13th, 2004, she made this entry, and this turns out to be Dana. Remember Dana? Let's see. Dana, that's a picture of her. She only has this one blog. And you'll recall that she is the niece of the lady whose website it was. And basically, if you're reading this, I'll assume you've already witnessed the damage over on my aunt's website. That's how you got here, right? So I've been wrestling with the site bugs myself since late last week. I've exhausted every strategy I can think of, scoured my code, ran virus checks, did the whole spyware spy hunter thing, installed all the browser updates, and then finally just wiped the site and rebuilt it from scratch. Nothing helped. It keeps getting corrupted like that. So basically, it's reasonable. We've got this weird. I set up a website for my aunt who wants to sell her honey. It keeps getting all corrupted like this. So can you help me out, internet? Because I've tried all the obvious things. What's going on? Right. And people do this all the time. Usually I go in a forum and I'm like, hey, I'm having this problem. How do I solve it? And if we look at the comments, we have, let's go back to, we don't have, let's see. They're not dated. There's lots of comments. There's 600 comments. After reading the source code for the pages, it is obvious this is a hoax and that the site owner or you or whomever have done those things to your own site. Okay, thanks for the mild amusement. But really, for one thing, the JS is a giveaway since it resides in the same directory as the main HTML page, right? So the internet is the internet. And then somewhere the next morning, Halo, Cortana letters. So they basically start, people find it and start trying to help. Also by figuring out that, hey, this is probably fictional, but it's cool. So that's what happened to begin with. You have a thing that's weird and a person asking for help. Happens all the time on the internet, and it's a great way to start an ARG, right? Can you help me do this thing? It can be as simple as tech support, or, I've lost my cat. Actually, one year, everybody was looking for, it was rabbit hole week, and everybody knew that the rabbit holes had to be up by Wednesday. And that week, somebody put lost dog flyers all over campus. and the one class was sure that that was the rabbit hole, that this lost dog was the start of the arc. So they had little tabs with a phone number to call. So they called the phone number. And this lady answered, and they're like, I think I found your dog. And the woman was so excited because she had lost her dog. It was not the rabbit hole. It was someone who had lost her dog. But they had the poster, and it had a description of the dog. So the guy was like, well, the dog's brown, and the poster says it's a black dog with that's this many pounds and has a white tail or whatever. And he totally described a totally different dog. And she finally was like, no, I don't think that's my dog. I'm sorry. I hope you find whoever's it is. Because the guy was like, oh, this is not the ARG. It's a real lady who has really lost her dog. So think about your rabbit hole. Think about how we're going to involve the players. Remember, the players are whoever they are. You can't dictate who they are. You can't say, you're a spy. You can have one of your characters, mistake them for a spy, right? And say, you gave the code word. What was the code word? Hello. Right. So what I want to do now, I'm gonna stop the share. Is we're gonna do breakout rooms. That's 3 p.m. Let's get to 4 p.m. So first thing I'm gonna do is make all the leads co-hosts, and I'm gonna make Karen a co-host. I think that was part of the problem last time. So Emily is now a co-host. Use your power only for good. Michael is now a co-host. Xavier. Where's Xavier? Xavier was there. Can't find Xavier. There he is. You are now a co-host. Rachel is now a co-host. What does this mean? I'm not exactly sure, but you now have expanded powers. You can share documents and such. Co-host, and Jared is a co-host. Okay, yes. And now I am going to make 5 breakout rooms. And I'm not, well, rename writers. Tech, art, gameplay, and recruit. Okay, so and now I am going to assign 2 writers. Let's see. Assign. We are going to assign Xavier and Jaden and Ben and Stanley and Griffin. I'm told there's an easier way to do this, but this is my first day with it. And then for tech, gonna assign Jared and tech Nick and Winnie and Young Chen. I don't see Young Chen here today. Okay, go with that. Art. We're gonna go with Rachel and Yassine and Hanwen and Clarissa and Suyi. Gameplay. This is good. Zach and Jake. And that's it. Gameplay is still hurting. And finally, recruit is
Jared said Shane is in his group also.
okay. Okay. Well, first I got to do recruiting. Oh, we have nobody in recruiting, do we? There are no recruiters. That's bad. Okay. So, where is everybody? Okay, recreate. No, I don't want to do that. Options. Move. Okay. So, I'd actually like one of the producers to go to writing, because we got to get that going first. No peer recruiters. I guess it didn't update. Is anybody a recruiter that I don't know about? I have.
Annie is in the which group here? Gameplay. Annie's in gameplay.
Annie is in gameplay. Okay. And somebody else was in tech. Who else was in tech? Shane. Okay. So I don't know where Jonathan goes, and I don't know where How Chen goes.
How Chen is tech.
Chen is tech. Okay. And where does Jonathan go? Jonathan never signed up for a group.
Sounds like a recruiter.
Either recruiting or gameplay, Jonathan. I hesitate to put Jonathan alone in a group. I'm going to put you in gameplay, Jonathan. We still have no recruiters, but oh well. Okay. So I am going to put let's see. Zach, Jared. Okay. So I'm going to put Mike in writing because you seem on top of that. Emily, I would like you to go to gameplay. And I actually, yeah, I will follow you there. Karen, you're off to art again.
All right.
And I will bop between each of these groups and talk about what I'm expecting from you. Okay? So I'm going to start off actually in writers. Let's go. Bzing. Okay, where am I? How, Jonathan? Okay, I'm in gameplay somehow. No, they're going. Okay, I'm alone.
Elements that we could draw from
Mm-hmm.
on the specifics.
Okay, I have two things.
Yes.
Okay.
Approach to all of this.
Mhm.
You have 6 days, right? You have 2 story beats per day, right? So that is essentially 12 things you have to map out, right?
Right.
Plus the rabbit hole.
Hmm.
All right. So I would say take that structure, get the calendar out, and say Wednesday is our rabbit hole, and just put a sentence for each thing, and then Thursday our 2 story beats are this and this. Friday this and this, and maybe work backwards. The end is the universe explodes or doesn't explode, making stuff up. And how do we get from save the cat to the universe explodes? Okay. And since you have 2 things per day, you can break it down that way. But the big thing is you guys need like a paragraph at the very least to just tell everybody what the story is. Okay. I'm out. I'm off to another group.
Sounds good.
Gotta figure it out. Going off to gameplay. Yes.
Can like incorporate a broadcast into a puzzle somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, that shouldn't be too hard if we have if we're given whatever it is we need to tune in, right? Because we can just have either the frequency or however that works, whatever you need to input as the solution to some kind of.
From what I remember, we won't necessarily know the exact frequency until it's about to be aired. From what I remember, I think it was Rachel saying. So I think it would be best if it was some sort of passcode, and then you input the passcode on X thing, and then X thing can release the code when it's ready to broadcast, because at that point we could update it behind the curtains easier than having to mess with the entire puzzle.
Okay. Hi. Sorry to interrupt.
All good.
Big picture stuff. You have 2 things a day, right? Two activities or puzzles or whatever, gameplay elements. So as soon as you get a story, or you can put this in, you can send this over to the writers too. You should list each day your 2 things. What do you think does the ham radio thing come on Saturday or does it come on Thursday? Where do we end? So essentially just a high level list of what happens each day in terms of gameplay activities. Okay. That said, you should also think about what the rabbit hole is. How do we get into all of this? What is your attract screen, right? So okay, I'll leave you to that. I'm out.
Wait. So the rabbit hole is our responsibility to come up with?
Well, so yes and no. Normally I would say talk to the recruiters, but you got no recruiters. So
cool.
It's got to be somebody's responsibility. And it really falls to both writing and gameplay in the end, right? As well as, it's everybody. It's art, And if there's a website involved, it's tech. What I was telling the recruiters in the other classes, think in terms of a package that is very simple, whether it's a URL like the I Love Bees site saying, hey, I found this weird website, something's going on there. They're asking for help. Check it out. It's really kind of freaky. Or like the locksmith arg, here's a package of PDFs, a zip file of PDFs, or you could even make it a single PDF that you can quickly email to people, right? And say, look at this weird thing. Where does it lead? Ghosts are kidnapping people. So how do you get people in? And that's essentially an activity, is attracting people, right? And I'll talk more about various rabbit holes I've come across, but you guys have to make some decisions and start thinking about it.
Does the rabbit hole count as one of the story beats or gameplays?
No, that's the one. So the first day, Wednesday, is neither story beat or gameplay. It is just rabbit hole. And every day after that is 2 story beats and 2 gameplays. The other thing about rabbit holes is they're kind of they're collectors, right? So what you want is, if give somebody an easy thing to figure out, right? And then when they figured it out, they go to a website, right? And it's got a countdown on it, right? And that countdown doesn't start until the next, or doesn't end until the following day when your first story beat comes out, right? So it's essentially a place to say, you did it, now wait, and we'll give you the next thing tomorrow. Or the other thing to do is point them right towards an information collector, some kind of form that says, hey, would you like to be a part of this? Would you like to be contacted through email, through text, through, I don't know, however, phone? We will never sell your data, and we're only going to use it for this stuff. And nobody believes that anymore because everybody sells data. But the truth is, you will only use it for this stuff, because what else are you going to use it for? So that's another way of saying, hey, sign up for our Ghost Hunters Club or Fairy Hunters Club, right? And that way you get some information, and then you send them an email the next day saying, I've set up a forum where we can talk, come to it, right? So it's a reward, a mystery, and a data collection site, all kind of wrapped in one. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay. Any other questions? Nope. Okay.
Should be able to handle it from here.
I am off to another group. See ya.
If we need to.
Hello.
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 Oh, bless you. Just wanted to touch base. Don't let the whole art crew become service oriented, right? Because it's one of the things I hear year after year is nobody told us they needed the thing, right? And then other people are like, we need the thing or we can't keep going. Nobody told us. Oh, geez. So offer to make stuff. They have, remember, we have 2 story beats and 2 gameplay beats every day. That's 12 of each. right? So if a story beat is a video, that's you guys, right? If a story beat is a radio play, that's you guys. Give us writers, give us a script, we'll make it, right? If the tech guys need to set up a website, they need all the art elements for that website. That's you guys, right? So I think you guys have been, or the class in general have been collecting a document of talents, like I can do this or I can do that. Make sure that you all are not just saying, I know how to do this, but hey, here's this cool thing that I would like to do for this. And if each of you volunteers one cool art thing, more than like a logo, but like a video or something, that's 5 things. That's most of the week. Well, that's half of the week covered, more or less, right? Questions about what your role in all of this is?
Oh, can you say again, when are the writers supposed to decide, like, right, to finish the story?
I was hoping today. So they said tomorrow. So we'll check back in tomorrow.
Okay.
I begged them for at least a paragraph that tells us, who wants what and why are we helping them or stopping them, right? That's all we can ask for, and that way, and hopefully a definition of each of the characters, so that y'all can get started. There was one, like, if you look at that I Love Bee site, it looks like 1996 GeoCities stuff, right? But that tells us something about the character, is they're not very good at web design, right? So whereas another character whose website is totally slick and just all the most modern design conventions, it tells us something about that character. So we can learn a lot through the look and feel of their online presence, and think about each character's online presence. That's you guys again. We all leave traces. What does their Twitter look like? What does their Facebook look like? Well, Facebook looks like Facebook. But if they have a Tumblr, is it moody goth stuff because they're a moody goth kid? What does it look like? Okay, I'm out of time. I want to get over to tech. So good luck. Make sure you exchange, or at least know when your next meeting and talking. Okay, I'm out. Peace.
Oh.
Hi, pop it in. We're almost done. I just wanted to let you guys know that number one, tech is responsible. Your first thing is to set up some sort of online safe space for your players to talk in. Okay. Whether I can't tell you how many boards on Pro Boards, which is free forum software, I have accounts on Pro Boards left and right from 15 years of ARGs. But if you can set up your own forum software, there's free forum software out there to download and set up, Zenforo or whatever.
Can we make a Discord server for them, or?
Yeah, I mean that's kind of
is that too simple, you think?
Well, it's so one year they just did a subreddit, and just the format of how the subreddits work, like Reddit as a a way to read and talk to each other isn't all that great. It's like, I don't know. So I think Discord would work. The other thing, you should talk with the writers about what is the place of this this safe space, right, in the fiction. Who set up this Discord server, and why is it here, and what are we supposed to talk about in the fiction that we will then talk about how to solve puzzles and move through the arc, right? So in the past, they've done like forums where Evil Corporation has this forum, and then the rebels who are trying to stop the Evil Corporation from the inside, you know, they're like the band of good guys who work for the Evil Corporation and are trying to stop the nefarious plan. They've set up this secret forum inside the forum, kind of thing, right? So that's number one, and that's really where the rabbit hole is going to point people, right? So
it could be easier if it's a website then.
Yeah, I've already talked to, well, but maybe it's a website with a link to a Discord server. But don't you need invites to get in a Discord server?
If you can like set, well, that's the thing. You can set an invite link. You can just send an invite link. You don't need to send it to a specific person.
Yeah.
But I think they only last for a certain amount of time.
Okay.
So we would have to like constantly be refreshing that probably or something like that.
Yeah. I don't know.
You might be able to have a link that lasts like a week or something. I could be wrong, but I think that's a thing.
Yeah, maybe. I have to look into that.
Okay. So that's exactly what you're for, right? Is to figure this stuff out.
Never mind. It's a day.
Yeah, it lasts for a day.
Okay.
So, a day max.
So I talked to the gameplay about what the rabbit hole is, and they're going to figure out, do we end up with a website? You're going to need a website of some sort, right? And even if it's a page that points to Discord and various other places. So you've got to talk to the art group about whatever art assets. If it's a company, you need a company logo. If it's a person, then pictures of their life or whatever their website's about, right? So you've got to interface with basically all the other groups about, you know, we need these things. We need text writers, so hand us whatever text for the character who made this website. We need these art assets, artists, and we will get our tech stuff working. The other thing, you should talk with the producers about collecting money. You should put together some kind of a budget of, well, we need, I don't know, $14 to register a domain name, or whatever it is.
Website.com lets us have a free domain name. Well, not free. It's $2 a month. So if I just pay the $2 for the 1 month that the ARG is running, then
okay. Yeah, whatever it is. So think in terms of budget. We are way over time. Any questions? I feel like there was more I should tell Tech, but I forget what else I should tell you.
That's kind of what I was wondering too. Like, we can't really do too much without them telling us what to do, essentially.
Well, so here's the other thing. They ask you for things, right? But there's also hey, I know how to make an Android app, so I could get it. I'm going to make a thing, whatever that thing is, you know how to do. Where can we fit this into gameplay, right? So don't just be a service group. Be proactive and offer things.
Yeah, it's It's a little unfortunate for us because we got 2 seniors who are trying to graduate, me and
I
Winnie,
understand.
and then we have 3 freshmen, so they don't have
Okay,
like.
so you guys are skilled in time management, and they don't know what they don't know yet. So give them the impossible tasks, and make sure they get it done on time.
Okay.
No, it can be so. So the other thing is, if you don't, if you wait for other people to give you jobs, they will give you impossible jobs in very short timelines, right? So tell them what you're available to do.
Sure.
Okay. Okay. We are way over time. I got to send some messages, and I will see you in a bit.
All right.
Okay. Maybe. I have no idea. I'm joining recruit.
Did no one come back to this?
No, I figured everyone, you can go live your life.
So good night.
Okay, good night.
We could set it as established ideas or something like that.
Yeah.
Something you kind of like, maybe in bold italic, something you kind of make it be like, here's something new here, kind of thing.
Yeah,
Or we can just say it, or we can just post in Discord or message the art people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey gang, everyone else has gone home or is home, but everyone else has left Zoom.
Okay.
I know you guys want to keep talking, but when I leave, everything goes poof. So
Everybody hop over to the Discord voice channel. We'll continue.
All right.
okay, go talk over there.
All right.
Okay, bye.
See ya.
So I think